Hey everybody, welcome to today's show. Welcome to Disabled Reality. I'm your host, Anthony Lorito-Duke, and we have two topics for today's show, in which the first one is Trump wants to reopen up the economy, meaning all businesses, immediately. And the second topic is religious places of worship still holding services and ignoring public health guidelines. Well, let's get right into the first one. Trump wants to reopen up the economy, meaning all businesses, immediately. Listen, we all know that times are tough right now, and especially with this COVID-19 situation. But to just reopen up the economy immediately is not the right way of doing things. Okay, and we know that uh, the economy needs to uh, start up again, but we got to do this the right way, ladies and gentlemen. Not just open up all businesses immediately and stuff like that. That's doing things stupidly. We want to do this the right way. Okay, what does that mean? That means uh, we have to do it in small bits here and there. We need to we need to be able to have a lot of people be working from home right now. That's number one. But not everybody can work from home. Okay. And with that, we got to look at the businesses, for of people who cannot be working at home. We got to open them up in little drips and drabs, and in which we got to uh, be able to do testing for them first. Okay. We got to be able to say, all right, you got to, all workers and clients have to be wearing masks and gloves. Okay. We still got to do the keeping 6 feet apart. Still got to do that. And, with, we also got to stay within the limits of like what the CDC once said, no more than, I think, like 50 people or something like that at a time. But even with that, you really got to do that in small brackets too. Like maybe limiting to 10 people at a time right now, for now, until we really get back on track. Because if all businesses were to just reopen up immediately, okay, that could make things a lot worse with this COVID-19 situation, in which, um, like within the state of New York, numbers are down right now. Okay, that's a good thing, with the exception of the number of deaths that's going up, but that's to be expected. And but with everything else right now, pretty much the numbers are down, and we want to keep it that way. And in order to keep it that way, you got to do things smart, in which you got to do things in small bits here and there, not just you know opening up everything and that's it. Because if we were to do that, and also keep this in mind, ladies and gentlemen, with looking at the statistics, the records from other countries who had just reopened up their economy and whatever, you know, they saw an uptick in the coronavirus cases again. You don't want that. We want to do things a smart way of doing it in little bits here and there with very strict restrictions. Okay, that's the proper way of going about things. So, you know, you just want to do things a smart way. And that's as far as that topic is concerned. Now let's get right into the second topic, religious places of worship are still holding services and ignoring public health guidelines. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot have this. Okay? And it's not about um, going against anybody's religious beliefs. No. Right now, we are in a major health crisis with this COVID-19 situation. And there's still a lot of places, religious places of worship that are ignoring the public health guidelines and just saying the hell with it. We want our congregation here. You can't have that, okay? And you know, unfortunately, yeah, you still hear and see a lot of these religious places of worship saying God's gonna help us. Really, Einstein's? Really? Come on now. Let's use a little bit of intelligence and common sense here. All right? And you know, that it's just not the truth. It's not going to come down and take away this, virus. Really, come on. You gotta listen uh to the experts here and obey by the public health guidelines. Because if you don't, you're making matters worse. And guess what? Government officials are going to be left with no other choice but to say, you know what? Religious places of worship are not essential workers, with the exception of the parts that do meals on wheels, or or food pantries and stuff. That's the only parts, really that uh, that are essential. Also including, that those that help the homeless and stuff. Those are essential portions of religious places. But the portions that are not essential are having uh, religious services going on. Can't have that right now. Okay? Seriously. Eh, and to all the religious leaders out there who still want, these religious services to be held, let's do it the smart way. Okay? Meaning, video it with nobody in the audience, right? With just the preacher and a video camera person, and say, we're going to video it, and people maybe, whether people tune in live or whatever, or or have the video sent out to your congregation and let them watch it like that if they can't watch it, you know, live on video, whether through Skype or whatever. You just can't have the large congregation at religious uh, services right now. Can't have it. And that's it. That's all there is to it. So go about it in another, more intellectual way of live streaming it, like I was saying, and let people tune in that way, or video it and send that out to the members of your congregation. Really, it's just about doing things a smart way, using the brain for once in life. So, but I mean, that's just my opinion, because otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, if these religious leaders don't do what I suggested, government officials are going to have no other choice but to say, you know what? Churches are to be shut down. Done deal. If they're not going to listen, we have a health crisis out there. We got to stop the spread of the coronavirus. And again, if these religious leaders are not going to listen, the government officials are going to have no other choice but to say, you know what? Shutting you down now. That's it. Done deal. And if these religious leaders turn around and say, well, you're just against my religious rights and blah, 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 you know what? Then you're really pushing the buttons of the government officials, and they can end up turning around and saying, you know what? You're not going to listen, and now you're really getting me mad? How about we do this? You're no longer tax exempt. Done deal. Then let's see how many of these churches are left standing. And it's not the fault of the politicians. It's the fault of these religious leaders that are not listening to the public health officials. All right. So, um, it's really just about listening and working together and then stopping the nonsense. Really. Now, that's just my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. You could take it or leave it. And if these religious leaders don't listen, government officials are going to step in. They have no other choice. And so I want to take this time now to remind everybody about my business, my website, which is Advocate Information Highway. And the link to there is awldny.com. That's A like Apple, W like Wind, L like Larry, D like David, NY like for the state of New York.com. And you guys can check out all the pages on there. And speaking of which, I added another page, which is called the donations page. And your donations uh, really do help in the support, you know, supporting my business and will help us and enable us to meet our guidelines and to improve conditions and really go to help a lot of people. So again, your support and your contributions will enable us to meet our goals and to improve conditions. Uh, and your donations are um, are really appreciated and will help us your donations will help fund our mission as well. So um, I just wanted to mention that, and I wanted to also on the store page of the website of Advocate Information Highway, you will see the link to my internet store on Zazzle.com, in which I designed a lot of products and they're up for sale on there. You will also see the link to my authors page on Amazon.com. You will see the links to where you can take a sneak peek into both books that I wrote, and you can purchase them on Amazon.com as well. And you will also see the link to the website that my husband and I have together called oddsandends.com. That's ODDZ like zebra, N like Nancy, ENDS.com. And you guys can shop to your heart's content on there. And I also wanted to remind everybody about my 10 internet newspapers. You'll see the links to, uh, if you go to the newspapers page of my website, right, you'll see the links to each one of my 10 internet newspapers so you guys can check all them out. And so, with that, I hope to speak to everybody again next week, next Thursday, which is April 16th, for my other show that I host here on Spreaker.com called Equality and Rights for All. And I hope to speak to everybody again next Friday, which is April 17th, for this show, Disabled Reality. And so, with that, take care, everybody. Bye.